Greetings fellow warriors, and welcome back to another Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord video. As previously mentioned, today I want to talk about what I expect from Bannerlord in 2024. Man, how the time goes by. I remember back in 2020 when Bannerlord released, and soon it's going to be 4 years since that initial early access release date. Makes me almost nostalgic, yet we still have a long way to go to make Bannerlord the ultimate successor to Warband, so sit back, grab yourself some meat and enjoy this video. Oh, and also tell me down in the comment section below what kind of features you want to see being added to Bannerlord in 2024. So let's start with the horse in the room. Diplomacy. Since the early release of Bannerlord, diplomacy was kinda, how do I say it in the nicest way, underwhelming I guess? And it still is, don't get me wrong, but the diplomacy aspect of the game needs some heavy rework. Currently the system only involves truce and war. There's nothing in between, no alliances, no friendships, no intrigues, no proper non-aggression pacts, and I could go on and on. Internal conflict of clans? Never heard of it. Usurping the throne? Nope. It's just this game of ping pong where there are only two states. The systems I present here doesn't need to be as in-depth as in Crusader Kings for example or Civ 5, but at least a sprinkle of it would suffice. Add some different political views and faction-specific laws and policies to make each faction distinct from each other, and you'll have a semi-intricate system in place. I don't know why we still have this skeleton of a diplomacy system in the game almost 4 years later, but I do hope that will change in the coming year. What do you think? Next up, relationships. Imagine this scenario, you're High King Gabagool of the Britannians. Even though you're at war with the Vlannians, you have a pretty high relationship score with Durthard and manage to capture one of his eldest sons, Lord Erdorant. Nevertheless, you opt not to spare any captives and choose to carry out Erdorant's execution, leaving his father, Durthard, in a state of terror and apprehension. Or so it may seem, but in vanilla Bannerlord, well, Durthard will just greet you, saying, "My friend," and carry on the conversation as usual. My brother in Christ, I've just murdered your eldest son in cold blood, and you're laughing at my face and calling me your friend? If this doesn't highlight the flaws in the relationship system in Bannerlord, I'm not sure what will. Relationships are meaningless, there are no real consequences for your actions. Durthard should absolutely hate me. Hell, he shouldn't even talk to me at all. He's just like, "It's fine bro, I'll make another one," and that's it. Also, instead of running around trying to meet every lord as fast as possible to acquire quests or do tasks for them, we need a centralized spot where lords and ladies will gather. I guess you all know what I mean by that. Feasts should still be an integral part of Bannerlord. That way you can handle your political shenanigans with other lords at one spot. Now, you know that I'm working on such a mod and progress will continue soon. However, console players won't have the luxury of using mods for now. That's why Tailwords should absolutely consider adding feasts to the game. Now, this might be a controversial point of mine, but I absolutely despise the overuse of menus in Bannerlord. Everything can be done via the campaign map, like going to a settlement and meeting the nobles, going into the tavern to meet your future companions or talking with lords and ladies inside keeps. Let's just say you want to acquire a new business, you just have to click on one of the notables' icons and you can talk with them. In Warband you had to physically walk around the town to meet the guildmaster first. That way you can first appreciate the scenic talent that lies within Tailwords scene designers, and secondly be ambushed by bandits if you try to walk around town at night. Same with the tavern, you had to go into the tavern first and talk to the companion. However, even the tavern isn't excluded from enemy encounters. Sometimes a belligerent drunk is waiting for a suitable victim to get a beating, and you might just look like his type. Depending on your renown, he will then either try to beat the ever-living crap out of you, or be mortified by your status as a noble. I know, walking around towns or villages for hundreds of times is getting tedious in the long run, but hear me out. Why not have a system that occludes all the notable people the first time you enter a settlement? You'll first have to meet them via walking around town and talking to them. That way they will be available for quick talk in town menus. In my opinion, this would be a much better system that will highlight the talents over at Tailwords headquarters, that lies in the art and scene department, as well as enable additional gameplay situations such as ambushes or tavern brawls. Honestly, why stop at feasts and ambushes in regards to gameplay? Why not just add all the stuff that made Warband great to Bannerlord, like the Minister, having a court, deserters and manhunters, in-depth courtship, duels and most importantly, the Suspicious Man quest. I know I'm getting a little bit carried away, but maybe it's the nostalgia, but I really do miss all of those features. The next thing I want to talk about is the AI. Oh yeah, the infamous Bannerlord AI. As of patch 1.2.8, battles, which are 95% of the gameplay, are still unsatisfying and unappealing to participate in. It still feels more like totally accurate battle simulator. Your troops will just clash into the enemy's troops and that's it. Good luck figuring out what to do in this mess. Bannerlord should absolutely adopt systems from the realistic battle mod, where your troops will actually fight in a shield wall and try to preserve their lives, rather than committing suicide by walking into the enemy's blade. I've just come back to try and play without the mod and by god, it's so much more inferior than what RBM provides. The mod also improves the positioning of defenders during sieges, which allows for semi-multi-layered siege battles. Which brings me to my next point, multi-layered siege battles. Sieges currently only involves capturing the wall and killing any defenders that defend it. But my guy, there's a whole city to conquer, not just the walls. Bannerlord should absolutely have urban battles during sieges, even if they are tied to a loading screen, just like keep battles. Let's say after you've successfully conquered the wall, you will be able to proceed to the next stage of the battle. After a short loading screen, you'll be spawned behind the main gates with all your troops, while the enemy positioned themselves accordingly at choke points with barricades and other defending positions. You would have to make your way to the keep and try to kill any remaining defendants, with townsfolk running around in fear and houses burning down to the grounds, which adds some use for the already existing fear mechanics as well as torch mechanics. Of course, there are many more things missing to make Bannerlord great, but in my honest opinion, these are the main points that Tailwords should consider working on. So, what do you think about all of the points I mentioned today? Do you agree or disagree, and what do you want to see in Bannerlord? Be sure to tell me down in the comment section below. And yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, feel free to hit that like button. It would help out tremendously, or maybe even subscribe to the channel. That would really make my day. Join my Discord server if you want to talk with me and other like-minded people about all kinds of stuff. And I see you all in my next video. Become a member today and bye. Yet another huge thank you to Clinky Man, Max, Chains, Ed Kainer, Shizukeru, Sahafire, G Morrissey, Lyrian, and all the other channel members and Patreon supporters for supporting the channel.